In this short video, we're going to take a look at an introduction to licensing Power Apps, one of the Power Platform components. My name is Vicky Lee, an independent Microsoft licensing expert, and I'll be taking you through this session today. So how is Power Apps licensed? Well, there are a number of different licensing models available for Power Apps. So let's start with the per user and the per app options. The per user license is a monthly user subscription license, and it licenses a user to access any number of apps and websites across any environments. And the licenses are assigned to users in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center in a very similar manner to Microsoft 365 licenses. And who might benefit from the per user licenses? Well, they're great for businesses that want to have one license for each user, regardless of the number of apps that they're running. And then we have the per app license, which gives a user access to either one app or one website within an environment. Rather than these licenses being assigned to a user, they're assigned to an environment in the Power Platform Admin Center and then automatically assigned to users as apps are shared with them. And one benefit of this licensing model is that it enables a business to start with a smaller cost and to stack licenses as required for users that need more than one app. Let's go through a scenario to show you how this works. Here we have an organization who have a number of Power Apps licenses. And we know that there are two different types of licenses, and they've acquired 6 per user licenses and 6 per app licenses. First of all, the apps are created, and when an app is created, it's assigned to an environment. An environment is a space to store, manage and share your organization's business data, apps and flows. And it also serves as a container to separate apps that may have different roles, security requirements or target audiences. Power Apps automatically creates a single default environment for each tenant. But you can see here that they've also created environments for finance and training. Now, our first user is going to need to access a variety of apps, and their business decides to assign a per user license to her. When someone has created an app, they then share it with the users, and we can see that our first user has all of these apps shared with her. And can you see that they're split out slightly so that you can see which environment they come from? She has a per user license assigned to her, and therefore she's allowed to access any app in any environment. So she's fully licensed for what she needs to do. Let's look now at the per app licenses, and these licenses are not assigned to users, they're assigned to environments. So what about our other user? Well, he has these 2 apps shared with him. And as soon as an app is shared with him, then a per app license in each of the environments where the app is located is assigned to him, 2 licenses in this case. And I'm sure you can imagine what happens next. A third app in the default environment is shared with him, and at that point, another license needs to be allocated to him. And remember that if there are licenses available, then they will automatically be assigned to the user when an app is shared with them. There is another option available for licensing Power Apps, and this is the pay-as-you-go option. With this option, rather than using the per user or per app licenses, you can pay for Power Apps usage based on actual consumption of the apps. So here, billing is via an Azure subscription, which is linked to a Power Apps environment. And when a user uses an app, they're classed as an active user. And they're then billed for against that Azure subscription via a charge per active user per month. And it is worth noting that with the pay-as-you-go option, any per app licenses that have also been assigned to the environment will be ignored. And I'll show you an example momentarily to explain what I mean. Now, each pay-as-you-go environment has allocated Dataverse capacity at 1 GB of database and file capacity per environment, and any additional usage is not drawn down from the tenant-wide allocations, but is charged for against a meter for that environment. So let's go back to our scenario to see how the pay-as-you-go licensing fits in. And this is the same example as we were looking at previously, but we're going to make the training environment a pay-as-you-go environment by associating it with an Azure subscription, where the charges for app usage will be billed. Now let's share an app from this pay-as-you-go environment with both of our users. Now, for our first user, there are no extra charges because she's covered with her per user license. But there is a charge for our second user if he uses the app, and let's assume he does. And remember that this is a monthly charge that's triggered if he uses the app, but if he uses it more than once in a month, he will only incur one charge. And a couple of other points to note. The same Azure subscription could be associated with several environments if you wanted them all to be pay-as-you-go environments and be billed to that one subscription. And secondly, as I've said, if there are per app licenses assigned to a pay-as-you-go environment, they're ignored. So in this scenario, I should reassign those 2 blue licenses associated with the training environment to one of the other 2 environments. That concludes this short video. Thank you very much for watching. If you require any more information around Power Apps, please do contact TD SYNNEX.